Welcome back to Family Life with Mama Rita. We've been dealing with a topic that is becoming very popular now. And if I were you, I would open my ears and listen very well. I forbid you to go through divorce. We'll be looking at what the Bible says about divorce. And I'm even thinking, after bringing people in and out to talk about their experiences, maybe I'll bring some of the children to also talk about their experiences. But for now, welcome. I hope you had a pleasant weekend and you've started the week very well. Wednesdays, they are not too bad. At least you know that after Wednesday night, there's going to be Thursday, and then thank God it's Friday. But I have something very special here. Mrs. Jennifer Abuaje McCarthy. Mrs. Jennifer Abuaje McCarthy. Your husband sent me your name. Your husband says I should give you a shout. And you are such a good wife. You are such a supportive wife. You are like an angel to him. Oh my God. I wish all husbands would be able to say this about their wives. God bless you for what you are doing. Continue doing the good work. And the God above will bless you. Thank you so much for listening to me week after week. God bless you. Your husband says I should say thank you to you. Today, we have so many questions from last week we couldn't handle. So today we want to do Ask Mama Rita. Too many questions, Ask Mama Rita. And then next week, we'll do another thing also on the divorce. And then I'll bring some people to talk about their experiences. But for today, it is Ask Mama Rita from last week's divorce questions. And then if you have new questions, you can send them to us. With me today, our faces you know so well. They are not new and strange to your screen anymore. Reverend and Mrs. Patrick Yorson. Shall we give them a shout? Welcome, Reverend Patrick and Mama
Rosemont.
Mama Rosemont.
Thank
People
you.
love it when you're on my show. I mean, they love it. The comments alone is something else.
Thank
and
you.
I believe you helped me today to answer all the questions we didn't answer last week, and then even with the new ones that will come. Welcome to the show one more time.
Thank you.
We will go to our co-hosts. The one who went on honeymoon. Me, I know honeymoon is only after wedding. Right after wedding. I didn't know that Laimomo also goes to
covenant renewal.
Covenant renewal. I like it. I have to tell my husband to take me for a honeymoon.
On our way, we met a Reverend Agri.
Oh wow! I'll tell Reverend Agri. I'm sure he's listening to us.
All right. Thank you so much, Mommy. Like she said, this is Family Life Series, the Ask Mama Rita segment. We are live, and you want to get talking on all media platforms with the hashtag Ask Mama Rita. Hashtag Ask Mama Rita. Send your questions through +200-515253, +233-200-515253, and across the globe, across Africa, across the West African region, and all over Ghana, we are going to attend to your questions, your concerns. If you have testimonies, send them through, and we are going to be celebrating with you. We are going straight to our first question. And for all those fellowshipping with us on Facebook Live, Sam Crunchy Ankara, Powerline TV, and on YouTube, Powerline TV, we're excited to have you once again. Send a tweet, send a message, share the link, and let somebody experience the blessings we are having here with the Swagger Mama Rita. And the first comment says, "My sweet mommy, you are looking so angelic tonight."
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But there's no news now. It's dead news.
Hey.
Dead news because when I was stepping out of the house, my husband saw me. And he said my top is so nice. He wants to know the shop I bought it from so he can go there and buy me some.
All right. Please, for those complimentary messages, we'll be glad you add your name and your location as well. This one says, "I'm Comfort from Wa. Please, I need your advice and opinion on this, Mama Rita. I met and married my husband who had a son at the time, but he said there was nothing going on between him and the baby mama. We married traditionally. 5 years on, I am getting to know from his phone chats that he has 2 other kids in addition to the son that I know about with the same woman. I have 2 kids with him, but I want to walk out of the marriage. However, my family thinks otherwise. I am not happy, I am broken, I am worried, I am depressed. Please help me."
Wow. Reverend Patrick, please help us with this.
Yes.
All the way from Wow.
So you indicated that the marriage was traditional. First of all, let me say that we always do not recommend divorce as it affects yourself and consequently the children. So as much as possible, we try to suggest that you work it out between yourself and your spouse. So you indicated that you had a traditional marriage and therefore you didn't know that this husband of yours was continuing his previous relationship with the other one. You have just found out. The question I may ask is, what is his reaction? Is he still supportive of you? Is he still a husband to you? Or during this time that he fathered other children with this other woman, he was not supportive and cooperative? You need to think about the impact it will have on yourself financially, as well as the social impact it will have on the children who will now be without their father. Because God in his wisdom set up families to be established by the 2 parents. And so your husband may have erred in going outside of the home. But I think that if you sit him down and have a conversation with him, that this is what I have found out. Why did you do this? I am certain that he is willing to apologize, maybe compensate you, etc., etc., etc. But my recommendation is that look up to the God that you serve and stand firm. If he's not abusive, he's still supportive, then I will recommend that you manage the situation and build the home that God has blessed you with.
So, my darling, well, 2 weeks ago we learned from Lawyer Vivian that as long as you remain under the customary marriage, which you so testify, traditional marriage, it means that the man is allowed to marry 2, 3, 4, as many as he can. So if the man, like Reverend Patrick is saying, he's supportive, he still loves you, he's still taking care of the children and all that. Well, he made a mistake. All you knew was 1 child. All you knew was you were alone. All you knew was it was an ex. Unfortunately, he's had a second and a third. But well, apart from that, if he's no more treating you and things are okay, then I think that give him a chance. Like we said, this is a customary marriage. And as long as you are in a customary marriage, the laws of our land allows him to marry multiple women. I'm not saying that that is the best, but unfortunately, that is where you find yourself. Hold on, and don't leave for the sake of the children, unless he's abusive and he's not taking care of you and he neglects the family and all that. But if you haven't gotten there yet, then hold on. I believe God will bring a change in your marriage.
Yeah.
Right. So a follow-up question from me would be, whilst we're looking at she holding on, if things are going well and there isn't physical abuse, she should hope for the best because of the interest of the kids and everything. How should she manage herself to now become a happy woman in the relationship? Because in her message, she says she is depressed. So even if she's holding on, is she holding on unhappy? How does she manage herself in this situation?
Mama responds.
Okay, so to err is human, to forgive is divine. If she finds it in her heart to forgive the husband for deceiving her in the first place, I am very sure she'll be able to move on and let go of all the hurt and the pain. As long as she is harboring the hurt and the pain, it will be difficult for her to find happiness. Most of the time when we are bitter about something, we are the ones who are at a disadvantage. The one who committed the error is happy and is going. We that we are at a we are at a disadvantage because we are not happy and we are bitter, and every day we wake up with, it's like a burden on us. If she's able to forgive the husband and let go and move on, she'll be fine.
So, my darling, forgiveness. Forgive him and then move on. And I hope somebody else is listening to us. Once you go for just the customary marriage, the traditional marriage, my darling, the man has an excuse if he goes in for somebody else. If you don't want the man to go in for a second and a third, and somebody fighting over the man with you, then please, we advise you to have the part 3 of the marriage, the one we used to call the ordinance. But well, some people have ordinance and they still do it. We are saying forgive the man.
Thank you so much, Mama Rita, and your wonderful guests. We go straight to the next question, and this is coming from Gambia. She says, "Good evening, Mom. I am watching from Gambia.
Wow.
My husband is based in the UK. He comes home every 2 years. However, when he is here, he would never ask for us to make love. He would often sleep on his stomach, or he would turn and face the wall. The few weeks he spends when he's back home are no more exciting. I don't know what to do. Please advise me."
Wow. Mama responds.
So it's a clear indication that there is something wrong.
Yeah.
There is something wrong and they need to sit and talk about it. She needs to call the husband and find out from the husband, what is it that probably I have done wrong, or what is it that you are not happy about, and talk about it. There is nothing that you cannot do when you communicate well. When you sit and ask the relevant questions and he gives you the, probably it is her, probably it's not her, but the man is also dealing with issues which he is not able to
Talk about.
So if she is not and get help, they should get help, basically, because
Reverend Patrick, from the man's angle,
Well, more often than
that's quite.
this is a little strange. Having been away for 2
2
years,
years.
and then you come back home and you're
nothing
still
is
sleeping
happening
on your stomach, then, I mean, like Rospon said, there could be a problem. The man has a problem, or he already is in some other relationship in the UK, for which reason he finds it difficult to reunite with the wife. So there definitely is
um, I don't want to tell you this, but in Ghana, and it's not just in Ghana, it's in UK. If you and your husband haven't had sex for 2 years, it calls for a divorce. So you need to sit him down before a counselor or your pastor or his pastor or some elders. That what is it? What is happening? So like he asks for the age, but these days people are going impotent very early. Some time ago, we used to hear 60 years and above, but I've met people who are 40, 45, and they can't ejaculate for so many reasons. You know, sometimes it has to do with the kind of work they do. Sometimes it has to do with stress. Sometimes it has to do with the undies they wear. Sometimes it has to do with the heat in the room. I mean, so many factors. But he should be able to talk to you about it. It's not normal. So call him either before a counselor, before a pastor, or before some elders. And it's not normal. I believe that if you ask him and he doesn't talk, call him before a counselor, a pastor, or some elders that he respects to be able to tell you what it is.
Great. Thank you. Mommy, there is somebody who has a recommendation for you here.
Hey.
Says, good evening, Mommy. God bless you richly for the work you are doing.
Thank you.
Please, can you treat long-distance relationships for us?
Wow.
And the best way to handle it and make it work. Some of us are struggling.
I think we have to, because long distance relationships keep coming up. So thank you so much. Please add it to the things we have to be handling.
Yes, Mommy.
So it means that Family Life series every Wednesday will never stop.
It's endless.
Because there are so many things that we need to talk about. Somebody's telling me I should talk about stepchildren and how the women must handle the steps, and I should talk about adoption, and there's so much we need to talk about. I should talk about IVF and all that. So I think we won't stop. So keep bringing us your ideas and things that you think that you'd want to hear, and things we must add on. Thank you so much. I will do that for you.
Awesome, awesome. This can only come from Mama Rita. And the way she says it is so assuring and settling. I will do that for you. Mommy, you're a blessing.
Thank you.
This one says, Mama Rita, I am Patience from Liberia. We have a lot of our international people hooking on today. I have a problem with myself. My husband tries a lot to make me happy. He provides a lot and goes out of his way. However, instead of reacting positively, I rather get angry with him. Please help me. How can I overcome this in my marriage? This is an interesting one.
Very, very interesting. I watched a show in America, and the lady had gone to court for divorce. So they asked, the judge asked her, why do you want a divorce? Because my husband is too nice. The husband is too nice. Every man she met was nasty, was abusive, and this one is too nice, and for her, it's not normal. So sometimes people go through the negative such that when they get the positive, it's not normal for them anymore.
The negative now becomes normal for them.
Negative now becomes normal for them. So, Reverend Patrick.
Yeah, usually people in that state have been through, like we just said, a series of abuse.
Yeah.
And therefore, anybody who does this, and mommy, the show that you're talking about, I did watch.
Yeah.
And I remember the lady saying that when she says, I love you, then I'm looking forward to the punch.
That's right.
And
Wow.
then when the punch
Also, you also watched
I watched
it.
And he says, when the punch doesn't come, there's something
Then
wrong.
there's something wrong.
You know, every time someone had said, I love you, the person had ended up punching her in addition. So this person may have gone through some kind of situation like that. And therefore, she thinks that every man is abusive. Yeah. The recommendation is this. The truth is that any person who, the fact is, you did say that you have a problem with yourself. And you have taken the first step in recognizing that you are the problem. Yeah. Begin to understand that your husband loves you. And love is expressed in seeking the well-being of the person that you profess love for. As God loved us and he sent Jesus to die for us, if your husband loves you, the way he will demonstrate it is to show you kindness, goodness, and all the kind of things. So please open up your heart and keep encouraging yourself that people who love you will show you kindness and goodness and accept it in good faith. Then I am sure that over time, your perception, your psychology will turn around and you'll be able to receive warmth, kindness, and goodness from your husband.
Mama Rosemond, do you have something to
Yeah,
add?
looking at it from a different perspective, the lady should ask herself, why did I marry the man? Mm-hmm. Did I marry him because I love him? Mm-hmm. Or there was something he was doing, and for that reason, I went in for him? Mm-hmm. Or there was something I was getting, and for that reason, I married him. So now that that thing is no longer there, then the love has turned to hatred or something like that. So she should search herself. Why did I marry the man? And if she realizes that she married the man for the wrong reason, and now she has realized it and the man is showing her love, but we say confession brings possession.
Yeah.
She should tell herself every day, I love you, I love you, I love you. Definitely that love will come. Yeah. And she'll be able to do the right things. She'll be able to overcome that challenge that she has with the man. Because if the man is showing love, then yes, the man really loves her. But she has to start developing love for the man if she married the man for the wrong reason.
Yeah. And then I also think that if a man loves you, treats you very nice, and yet you have a problem, it means that at least you have acknowledged that you have a problem. So number one, you need counseling. It's not normal for a husband to treat you well, a husband to love you, a husband to be kind to you, a husband to take care of you, and yet, it means that you need counseling. And then number two, you could also need deliverance. Yeah. There's something, I don't know whose side it is from. There's a spirit in the family, either from your father's side or from your mother's side, that hates women to be happy and married. There's some spirit that doesn't want you to be married. So number one, you need counseling. And then number two, you need deliverance. Maybe deliverance third. Let's say prayer first. Second, counseling. And then third, I think that you need deliverance. I believe that if you look at these things, plus what Reverend Patrick and Mama Rosemond has said, I believe that it will help you.
Great. We'll go straight away to the next question, which is another troubling one from a young lady, and I trust Mommy and the panel are going to help her out. She says, God bless you, Mom, for your word. Thank you. Please, my boyfriend has been forcing himself on me for sex. I've spoken about this countless times. However, he rather gets upset and aggressive. Now it is getting out of hand. Please, what should I do?
Mama Rosemond, I believe this is a red flag.
Yes.
It's a red flag.
Yes.
You are not married to him.
Yeah.
He forces himself, more or less, is a rape.
That's right.
You talk about it and he gets violent. My darling, is a red flag. Mama Rosemont.
This is not a husband material. This is definitely not a husband material.
That's
A man
right.
who cannot love you for who you are, but force you to have sex even when you are not married to him. Like Mommy said, it's a red flag. You just have to let go of that guy as soon as possible. He has no good intention for you.
So, my darling, you heard it. Reverend Patrick, do you have anything to
Yes.
add to it? We'll go on break and then we'll come back.
Basically, coming from a Christian angle,
Yeah.
we recommend that, even not from a Christian angle, premarital sex is frowned on from every society. And you should focus on building the friendship and the relationship. Sex is the preserve of married people. And so anybody who forces himself on you definitely is saying that I do not respect you.
Yeah.
And if at this point that you have not signed an agreement with him, he's telling you that I do not respect you, what are you looking forward to when you get married?
So, my darling, go back and listen to the red flags. This is a signpost telling you is red, go, go, and go. A person like that, when you even get married to him, he won't respect you. He won't respect your views. He doesn't care what you feel. He doesn't care what you think. He's a selfish guy. All he wants is just to get what he wants, and that is it. Please, it's a red flag.
Yeah.
Advise yourself. We will go on a break, and then we will come back with Ask Mama Rita.
Hooray! This Christmas and New Year will be your best despite COVID-19. The Apostle General begins a new series titled Is There Not a Cause? 1 Samuel 17:29. Make a date every Sunday in October, November and December at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. for this powerful series. Join us in person at Royal House Chapel or Bechebelamte Overpass on radio, Hot FM and Fox FM, on Facebook at Sam Crunchy Ankara, YouTube at Powerline TV, and on your favorite Christian television station, Powerline TV. Royal House Chapel, touching our generation with the power of God.
Son of man, can this marriage work? Son of man, will you get this promotion? So Ezekiel's answer was saying, Lord, you know, Lord, I surrender to you. When you surrender to God, then your life is open for miracles. Royal ladies, God sent you to come and prophesy to you that you are about to be victorious. You are about to win every battle that you are facing in life. Financial battles are about to be won. Academic battles are about to be won. Lift up your voice and say, I am more than a conqueror.
David, he was pushed to the bush looking after animals. God had a plan for his life, so he had to move him from a pampered location into a place where he understood that God will always use the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. That is why Jesus came on earth, so he would experience. The Bible declares in John that the word became flesh. Why? Because he had to feel, so that when he's up there, when we fall, he can make intercession and tell our Father.
Welcome back to Family Life. This time, Ask Mama Rita. We are having some questions, but we are ready to answer all of it. Welcome back.
All right, thank you, Mama Rita. If you are with us, this is Powerline TV, also live on Sam Crunchy Ankara on Facebook, and in your homes through your Digi boxes and digital station, Powerline TV. Well, you can join the conversation across all social media platforms with the hashtag Ask Mama Rita. ASKMAMARITA. And you can also send your questions, your comments through to +23320515253. And mommy, this is another interesting one, and I'm wondering which angle we are going to take this from. Says, I have a 15-year-old boy. Mommy, he is a liar. And he causes a lot of confusion between I and the father. He is always lying to the father about things which do not exist. And surprisingly, my husband, so this is where she makes clear that they are in marriage. My husband always believes him, and I always have to be at the defending end. This seems to be breaking our marriage, and this is my own son. Please help me.
Wow. Mama Rosemont.
The
Wow.
question that comes to mind is, what is the relationship between you and your husband? If
Wow.
the two is one, it is very difficult for a third party, it doesn't matter who the third party is, to come in between the two of you. Talk about your son. The two of you should always agree. If the two of you agree on issues, there is no way your son will come to you with one thing and will go to your husband with the same thing and will have different answers. If he comes to you and asks, the answer you give should be the same as that of what your husband will also give. But talking about your son, the relationship between you and your son also needs to be looked at. If you have a very solid relationship between you and your son, it will be difficult for him to go and try to tarnish your image with your husband. I think it has to do with relationship between the whole family. There is something missing somewhere, either between you and your husband or the children and the parents. There is something that needs to be looked at.
I believe that you need to build the relationship between you and your son. Get close to him, get to know him better. You see, when we talk about liars, to you he's a liar, but to him he's not lying. There's something that we call pathological lying, and it is sickness. I don't know what boundary he is now, but I think that this one calls for concern. You need to sit down with your husband. Sit down and let your husband know that, listen, this is my son we are talking about. I don't hate my son. I impregnated him for 9 months. I was the one who went to the maternity ward. I don't hate my son. This is not my stepson. For somebody to say because it's my stepson, I have issues with my stepson. This is your biological son. You need to unite with your husband. Have one voice, one mind, and be able to deal with the issue. So number one, be one with your husband. Have one voice with your husband. Decide on what you want to do together. And then number two, get very close to your son and get to know him. For all you know, he has some psychological issues. To him, he's not lying. I've met people like that who will see my blue dress and tell you it's green. That is the way they see it. That is what the mind tells them. I think that your son actually needs help. What you are saying calls for concern. Your son needs help, but one, you need to have one voice with your husband. Sit down with your husband. Let him know that the things that are happening is concern.
It calls for consent.
It calls for concern.
That's right. Yeah.
And then sit your son down, have a good relationship, a good rapport with your son. And if you think that is a medical condition, then you need to handle it medically. But sometimes these conditions are also spiritual. Sometimes they hear voices. They hear voices. Bring confusion between mommy and daddy. I've seen it so many times. And if that is the case, our doors are open in Royal House Chapel for deliverance.
Yeah. Thank you. And it's great you touched on that aspect of the child's development, because as an adolescent, as a young teenager, 15, Royal House has that atmosphere. Sometimes we should even look at school, what kind of friends he has and all of those. And in Royal House, we have the teens ministry where they meet their kind. They fraternize with their kind. They talk about issues, engage on topical issues that address these things and improve them. Luckily and gratefully, the teens ministry is now online as well on Powerline TV. And they come to you every Saturday at 3 p.m. with Teenspiration on this same platform, Powerline TV. So wherever you are, try as you look at the other solutions that have been preferred by Mama Rita and the counselors, Reverend Patrick and the wife, you can also get your son on to Teenspiration. Very educative, very enlightening, and it will get him to associate with his kind. We
and
trust,
then, I think she also needs to look at the church they belong to and look at the teens ministry. If they have very good teen pastors, I mean, people who can also affect your son positively. Like Pastor Chifape said, maybe the company he belongs to, either the school or the church or something. There's some, you are going to say something.
I was going to say that the mother should also look within her and ask herself, is there something that I have done against my son for which reason he has turned against me? And decided that I will hit back at my mother by constantly telling a false story around her to my dad. And so maybe your son is bearing a grudge against you for something that you have done to him. A 15-year-old boy is not a kid. He's an adult already. You may see him as a kid, but he's probably bearing a grudge against you for something you did. And then the other thing is that you started your story by calling your son a liar.
What you confess will come to pass.
That's the thing. So please do not call him a liar. Begin to see that this is my son that I am molding. He is not a liar. He probably is exhibiting the tendencies of a liar. But I do not want my son to grow up to become a liar. So stop calling him a liar.
I like that.
And help him to come out of that situation. I'm sure that if you begin to do this, both of you will be able to resolve it in the long run.
And then the other thing is show him love.
That's right.
Don't only show him love. Open your mouth. Tell him, I love you. I love you. You are my son. I love you. The only thing is that I have issues with your attitude. But I love you. I wish you well. I know you'll be great. I know there are things fighting your future now, but you will be great. I may start and speaking positive things to him. If he knows that mommy is very judgmental about me, he has the impression mommy doesn't like me. He has the impression, oh, mommy says evil things about me. Sometimes they can get you very, very angry. I mean, extremely angry. That if you are not careful, you even open your mouth, and then instead of blessing them, you begin to curse them. So begin to say positive things, positive things. Let him hear you say positive things about him all the time. And I believe that it will also start changing things.
It's very true, Mommy and Reverend Patrick, the talk about positive confessions. I remember just before going to JHS, I was struggling with mathematics and then integrate some topics under integrated science. So there was this new teacher who came to the school called Mr. Asiedu. After the first assignment he did, that we submitted, he called me and then he said, you are the best student in my class. Around this time, I had scored barely 5 out of the 20 marks.
Wow.
And he said, you are my best student in my class because the way you answered your right questions shows that. And that thing stuck with me.
Wow.
From that day, I just became the top as far as those 2 topics is full a process. So as an
you
adolescent,
need to
it's
look for that teacher and bless him.
yes.
Bless him or her.
Very true.
Wow.
Very true. And
Wow.
as a young boy, I was probably, I think, 12 there.
Yeah.
And it's changed something in my psyche.
Wow.
So the positive confession aspect is very, very relevant.
Wow.
Nice.
All right, we'll go straight away to our next question. This one says, "Hi, Mama Rita.
Hi.
I am messaging here at Labadi." Okay, he didn't add a beach. And he says, "This is my first time following this program, and it's so inspirational."
Wow.
He continues, "Please, my question is about age difference. My boyfriend is 13 years older than I am. I love him. He's very caring. He's fun to be with. He respects me. He is very responsible. Please, I want to know if this age difference is something I can deal with. It gets me confused. Thank you."
Somebody sent me a personal message, and it's very, very similar to this one. I called her back, and then we spoke. Number one, I don't know, how old are you? Yes, it's 13 years difference, but how old are you and how old is the guy? How come he's not married? This is number one. And I'm telling you the things I told the other lady. I said, how old is the guy? Assuming you are 25. Assuming you are 25. 25 plus 13 is how much?
38.
38. Even if you are 21, 21 plus 13,
34.
34. So the first question, how come at 34, 35, 36, 37, 38 is not married? These are questions you must ask. How come he is not married? Is that something? That's one thing you need to know. And then number two, how long have you been courting? How long have you been going out with him? Is he serious about you? Does he really want to marry you? Or he wants to use you as a side chick? If you are sure there was an issue, some people fell in love with somebody and the relationship went sour. Because of that, they closed up and they didn't want to marry, blah, 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 blah. If it's one of those, it's forgiven. Number two, if you've been going out for a year and you've been talking about marriage, then it is fine. And then number three, I keep telling people, yes, 13 years. We normally look at the age gap up to maybe 10 years. But 13 years is not too bad. And then look at yourself. Somebody, I met a 8-year-old. Now she's married. 8-year-old. Came to me, walked to me at Sunday school and said, "Mama Rita, I think I'm too old for this place." She said, Mama Rita, I think I'm too old for this place. All the people here are kids.
Really?
8-year-olds. So you can just tell that this girl will never marry her age mates. So are you the kind of person that you are attracted to older people? I mean, if you are 22 now, some people like you are not attracted to 22s, 23s, 24s, 25s, even 28. If you are a person like that, 13 is not too bad. You can go ahead. Once he's very serious with you and you are sure that he means business, he's not just handling you anyhow, just trying to use you and dump you and all that, you are not a side chick. 13, go ahead.
Well, I'm sure that answers a lot more people who are also thinking about this age difference question. We would appreciate if you add a little more detail to some of your questions, not mentioning names, places specific, but sometimes we'll appreciate it. Like in this question, Mommy, he says, "Hello, Mommy. Good evening. I am having issues relating with an adopted sister of my husband who is in the same house. My mother-in-law has warned that I do not talk about her issue. Please help me. So we don't know where the mother-in-law is staying, how long they've been married, at what point the woman became an adopted sister of the husband. So some of these details would have appreciated them, but let's see. Yeah.
So, Reverend.
Well, an adopted sister of your husband is your husband's sister.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
adoption
like that.
is not the issue.
Oh.
It's your husband. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if it's your husband's adopted sister, then it's his sister,
His
and
sister.
therefore your sister-in-law.
Yeah.
And I mean, in many marriages, in-laws become a challenge. But you are the one in the marriage, and you are married to your husband, and your husband came with that appendage. This is her sister who is now being a challenge to you. So you have to act in wisdom. You married the husband, and therefore whoever is coming in between you and your husband with a certain behavior, you have to wise up. I am unable to say exactly what to do because I do not know the challenge that she is bringing to you. But you have to wise up. 1, 2, speak to your husband about the situation and seek his help, because he's the one who is directly related to this individual and can advise you on how best to behave and react to the person. I cannot say much because I don't know a lot of detail, but the general advice I can give on this one is what I have to say.
And your mother-in-law says stay away from
it, yes.
stay out of issues with. It means that there's something more to it.
That's right.
Maybe next time, or you can send us a follow-up question, and then we'll be able to help you. Pastor Chifape, somebody sent me a message.
Okay.
She said, "Oh, it is he. Good evening, Mama Rita. The lady I love broke up with me on the basis of, number 1, my personalized statements when celebrating others. My personalized statements when celebrating others. Number 2, she called me many times when I was just stepping out. So I responded, I'm not home. She called me many times when I was just stepping out. So I responded, I'm not home. Just stepping out of the house. And responded to the lady, I'm not home. Maybe the lady was somewhere close and saw you.
Yeah.
And then, number 3, my passing comments. My passing comments she has held so high against me. I don't know what comments. I have begged and pleaded, but no positive response. I love her. Please, what should I do? Mama responds. Or Reverend Patrick, whoever wants to go first.
Well,
My personalized statements when celebrating others.
I don't understand that clearly, really, when he says my personalized statements when celebrating others.
I'm sure it has to do with this status and all that. Celebrating others on status. And maybe
my super dearie.
Yes.
Okay.
Happy birthday, my sweetheart.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, my darling. Happy birthday, my Hamatan Popo. And I keep telling these younger generation, I'm always fighting my children. I'm always fighting them. You are in a relationship, or you want to be in a relationship, and you have taken a picture with another guy, and you've hugged each other. You see the guy as a brother in church. You grew up from Sunday school.
Right.
How many out there know that this is your brother? This is somebody I grew up
Plus
there.
your comment, this is my baby boo.
This is my baby boo.
Yeah.
So I think this is
That's it.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're in a relationship you are not supposed to make such comments
Yeah.
or put up such statuses, as we so to speak, because then it sends the wrong message to the partner you are with. If this person that is quote unquote not your closest friend, your lover, your sweetheart, is appearing on your status as your dearie or your sweetheart and stuff like that, then who is she? Where does she stand? Number two, she saw you probably stepping out of the house and you said that you were not at home. That is not a statement of fact. The fact is you were just stepping out, and that's what you should have said. And I think that probably that was not the first time. It must have happened a series of times. And so this was just the last straw that broke the camel's back. There may be other reasons why the lady thinks that I have had enough and therefore I want to walk away from this relationship. Maybe Rose can advise you on how best to win
And then
him
with
back.
the status and all that, sometimes their fiancés, their wives, they don't celebrate them that much.
No, they
Exactly.
don't. Yeah.
When the lady sees that you are celebrating others, and when it's my turn, you don't celebrate me, you don't say anything sweet, you don't let people know that I am the only person in your life, you don't bring my picture,
Nothing.
and it's always others, and you are.
Yeah, it definitely creates a problem.
So, Mama Rosemont,
The mistakes that some of the guys do, they forget that courtship is studying each other. It's not marriage. We are still learning. We are still looking. We are still finding out if I can live with you. I always say that there is no bad human being. Everybody is created by God. So there is no bad human being, but everybody has a weakness. So before you go ahead and marry somebody, you look at the person's weaknesses and strength and ask yourself, can I live with it? If I can live with it, cool, I'll go in. Because if the person does it, it will not affect me that much. But if I cannot live with it, then I can't go into this marriage. So if these are the things you are doing, and like Reverend Patrick said, I'm sure it's not the first time. She didn't just see it at the first instance and said, no, I won't marry you. But probably she has seen it a number of times and has complained, has said, brought it to your attention that this thing that you are doing, it doesn't sync well with me. And you are closing your eye to it and thinking that, oh, but you are my girlfriend. Why are you worried? You haven't seen me with anybody else. You haven't seen me going out with anybody else. Why are you worried? And close your eye to it and do not pay close attention to the woman's worries. Then yes, the woman will leave you because she can't live with it. So if you want the woman to love you because you love her, you also have to see to her needs. You have to see to her complaints. You have to see to the things that are worrying her and make an effort to stop it. Otherwise, the woman will leave you.
so what you can do now, you say, what can you do? You still love her.
Yeah.
Get someone the lady really respects. Get someone the lady really, really respects. And then go with the person to see the lady and say, I am sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I really love you. I want you back in my life. I believe that if you do that, the lady might come back into your life. And also add prayer to it. If you really, really love her, add prayer to it. And say, God, I made a mistake. I want her back in my life. I believe she'll come running into your arms one more time.
Go straight to our next question. Well, it's a comment first. This one says, Mommy, I love you so much.
Wow.
Your program is such a blessing to my home. I have asked a lot of friends at the office to be tuning into your show.
Wow.
God bless you and your team.
Wow.
This is exciting.
I have another one here.
Okay.
I'm enjoying your program from Nigeria.
Wow.
Another person said, good evening, Mama Rita. I really enjoyed your program. God bless you.
Wow. This is great. A testament to how much we are affecting the nations. And we thank God for the life of our dear mother. This one says, hi, good evening, Mommy. God bless you for your wonderful work. And then he continues, she is the type who says she doesn't like talking about issues. Often when we have problems, I would offer and call her for us to talk about these. But she doesn't have time, she says. Either in the mornings, evenings, afternoons, she would just not attend to me. What should I do? I'm getting worried in my marriage.
In the marriage, so this is not courtship.
Yeah.
They are actually married.
Yeah.
Reverend Patrick.
So you've been married for a couple of months, maybe years, I don't know, but you know what your partner enjoys. If she is not availing herself to talk about the issue, she probably is not ready. I would say invite her out for a romantic dinner or some kind of situation
Nice.
like that, and do not bring up the issue. Just make her happy. And I can assure you that by the end of the day, she will open up after smiling, after feeling warmth in her heart. She will open up to you and say, you know what, I'm very happy tonight, but the other day, X, and she will tell you about it. She probably is still very angry or upset and therefore does not want to express her issue. Or maybe, like you said, you have tried so many times, she's the kind of person who bottles up all the issues. But you need to find a way of connecting to her. And my suggestion is some kind of thing that makes her happy. It definitely will open the door to her coming up with that other thing that is so not nice about what you have done.
Mama responds.
So there is nothing that you cannot achieve if you pray. There is nothing that you cannot do. No, like we say, no mountain is too high. If you are not getting to her physically, turn to God.
Yeah.
Pray about it. I know God can speak to others on our behalf. So go to God, and like Patrick said, Reverend Patrick said, create an atmosphere of love and happiness, and then the others will also flow. But my main point is pray. Pray and let God touch her heart.
Your complaint is that your wife doesn't make herself available when there's an issue. I believe that there's been several issues, and when you sit her down, it's more of an attack. It's more of an attack. It's more of a verbal abuse. It's more of insults, and so she's had enough. And it's like you always blame her for things that happen in the marriage. It's like as for you, you never make mistakes.
Right.
And I believe that if you always come with this approach, the woman will never listen. So it shouldn't be you, but it should be us.
That's right.
Number two, don't start communication with attack. And you do this, and you did that, and you did this, and I am tired, and I'm fed up, and certainly she'll be too tired of listening to these things all the time. So change the way you approach when there are issues. And then number three, I believe that sometimes when you need to talk, there are things that you should also do, and you never do it. You never do your portion of the deal, and she's just tired. So change it a bit, go the other way around. It is not you, it is us. Take her for a romantic dinner, and then maybe like Reverend Patrick said, the first night, don't talk about issues. Just enjoy. And then maybe a few days after, you come up with the issues. It shouldn't be an attack. It shouldn't be her who has the problem, but both of you. I believe if you do that, she'll now sit down and then listen to you.
I mean, between myself and my wife, I'm the quiet one.
Okay.
And so when I have an issue, I'm kind of...
Okay.
And my wife will come to me and talk about not the issue. She
Okay.
probably knows about the issue, but she'll talk about something that is common between
Good.
us and bring it
Good.
up. Something about the kids or
Yeah.
something about the car or
Yeah.
something. Something, you know, she'll bring up something just to break the ice. And she will get me talking and not bring up the issue. Eventually, when she has broken the ice and we have relaxed around it, then I am the one who will bring up the issue now, because I'm now relaxed.
That's
and
right.
I will open up and talk about it. And I just support the idea that sometimes the partners in a relationship, one party chooses to stand in a particular place and say, I am always right. You are the wrong one. Well, if you are right, then stay there. I'm not coming. So the wife will not come and open up. Yes.
And also, what is it? Probably is the same issue that is occurring over and over again.
And she's tired.
And we've talked about it. And so why are you calling me? We've talked about it. We've talked about how to solve this particular issue. You are not doing what you have to do, like Mommy said. And you are calling me again. Definitely she won't come.
Interesting. Reverend Patrick, I'm going to try your process, because I was supposed to pick the case before coming. I didn't. So I'm going to start talking about why Man United couldn't get JD Sancho and things. I'm sure I'll just change the topic. We'll talk about Man U and how they are going to end at 14th position this season. We thank God for their life and the coach they have. May he remain there in Jesus' name. Please, to our next question, Mama Rita. This one says, Mama Rita, please, good evening. God bless you for this program. I'm a single mom who didn't marry my son's father. I'm currently seeing a guy, and it looks like being a born one is making things tough for me. Please help your daughter, Enyonam from Kumasi.
Wow. Mama Rosemont. Oh.
Okay.
Reverend Patrick.
So I was going to ask that is the issue that you are born one is not a secret to the young man who has approached you, and therefore I'm a little confused why it is becoming a disadvantage to you now. And being born one is not a curse. I remember Reverend Derek said a couple of weeks back that the action may have been a mistake, but the child is not a mistake. It's a blessing from God. That's what the Bible actually says, that children are a blessing from the Lord. And so be happy and proud that you have the son. And it shouldn't be an issue between your husband or your husband-to-be and yourself. Any man who loves you must love you in the state in which you are. So if you are a lady, pretty, hardworking with one child, then if he loves you, he must love you in the state in which you are and accept the son. I am sure that if he's unable to accept the son now, then I would say that it's going to be an issue that you have to carry for the rest of the journey of the marriage. So think carefully before you commit to this one.
And I remember, Mama Rosemont, you want to come in first?
No, I was going to ask Pastor Chivafe if he said the problem is because of the son, or she thinks it's the son.
She didn't make that clear. Actually.
Okay, so she needs to find out if the man is having cold feet. Probably it's not because of the son. Maybe she is thinking it's because of the son.
Okay.
So yeah, because she has a born one, she thinks she's quote and unquote defective. No, she's not defective. She needs to find out from the sit down with the guy. Like I always say, there is nothing you cannot do when you communicate well. Sit down with the guy and find out, why are you having cold feet? If it's because of the son, then the man is not ready to accept you. But if it's not because of the son and something else, then you address that issue and don't put the blame on your son.
Not at all.
And if you have somebody who is not ready to accept your son, my darling, is a red flag.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't go into it.
No.
Anybody who will see your son as a stepson, please don't go into it. It doesn't matter how much he loves you. If you love me and you can't love my dog, please go your way. If you have money and you can't love my son, go your way. So if the man has started showing signs because you have born one, it means that it's a red flag. But she didn't state it well. We don't know if it's the man that has a problem with a born one, or maybe a relative, maybe a mother of his, or a father of his, or an auntie of his.
Right.
If it's the man, then you need to advise yourself.
Right.
Tell the man, when you saw me and you met me, I didn't hide it that I have born one. Unless, I keep saying that, you see, sometimes you are courting, the man comes around and sees that the guy is being a bit naughty and says it, and then you get angry.
Yes.
You don't want the man to talk or say anything about your son and blah, blah, blah. If this is what is happening, then you will have problems. But if this is not happening, and he just has a problem with your son, then you need to advise yourself. And if it's not him, but a relative of his, then he will also have to talk to whoever it is that, well, my fiancé or my girlfriend has a son, has a daughter, but I still love her, and I actually love the son and I love the daughter, and I'm ready to go into the marriage. But I want to say that you can't get married to somebody who already has a son or a daughter and not accept the son and the daughter as your own. It's not possible.
All right, thank you, Mommy, for those comments and advice. I believe she has taken that, and as well as the many who are in similar situation. And this is what family life is about. Whilst we address someone's concern, we know it goes to address yours as well. Keep your questions and your comments coming through. +233 200 515253. Across all other media platforms, you can send your comments with the hashtag AskMamaRita. So we'll be taking our final batch of questions for the night, and it's been engaging and exciting. This one says, "Good evening, Mommy. You are looking," and she puts pictures there. I don't know how to read it. She says you are looking.
Hi! Thank you.
Looking sharp. All right, Mom. Please, I'm going out with this gentleman. However, he tells me his parents are not in favor of him marrying an account lady. So, in this case, what should I do? I am precious.
If the man really loves you, then both of you would have to pray. I mean, if he really loves you and he wants to go with you, you have to pray to get the acceptance of the parents. We've seen it here so many times. Reverend Derek mentioned it some months ago when he was going to get married to his wife, Mama Della. The parents said no. Mama Della's parents said no. I believe Mama Della is an Ewe, and the father was looking for another Ewe or something. But Reverend Derek was so sure. I mean, he was 150% sure that he loved Mama Della, and God was leading him to get married to Mama Della. All they did was to pray. I mean, they prayed until one day Mama Della's father said, "You know what? Ask the gentleman to come for the list." And today they've been married for, I think,
20 years.
20 years. And it happens all the time. If you really, really pray, and the man is sure of his decision, then together with one heart, you can pray to break whatever ice there is.
All right, so prayer is very important when it comes to these things. As a matter of fact, it's the pillar and underlying factor with everything that you have to do in your relationship, and that's what Royal House Chapel stands for. And on Friday, at the Friday Miracle Service live on this platform, you would be engaging in warfare. That after applying all of this, the Lord will have to rain favor upon your marriage, favor upon your children, favor upon everything you have that is a blessing and must be a blessing to you. So you will have to stay on and join us at the same time on Friday with the Apostle General and his sons. Well, we'll move straight to the next question, which says, "Good evening, Mommy.
Good evening.
I'm excited about what you've been talking about in the past few weeks. My question is, we have been looking for our fourth child, but I am scared because we are both in our 40s. What do we do?" Well, this is all we have.
If you are in your 40s, and you have 3, my darling, don't put the life of your wife in danger. Normally after 35, they will say it's high risk pregnancy. If you're already 40, please, unless it comes by mistake like me. I got pregnant at age 39 with my last baby. I cried. I cried because I didn't want to have a baby at age 40 or after 40. It comes with its complications. 40, you are too old to handle pregnancy. Today my here, tomorrow my there. Things that I didn't feel when I was pregnant with my firstborn and my secondborn, I was feeling it after age 39. I remember I had gestational diabetes, something I had never had before, you know. So the older you get, the more difficult it is to carry a baby and then to go into the labor ward. If you already have 3, please leave it at that. Unless you didn't want it and then you got pregnant. That one, I would say, don't touch it, don't abort it. That could be a miracle child, like my last baby, Mawena. She's a miracle child. And we call her Mawena because she's a gift from God. I didn't ask for it. I didn't want it. After my 3rd born, I had given everything out. And I had told everybody I was never going to have a baby again, but some way, somehow, it happened. So if you already have 3, it doesn't matter whether there are 3 girls. Reverend and Mrs. Patrick, you also have 3 girls. 3 wonderful girls. I was handling a case 2 weeks ago, and this gentleman has 3 daughters. And the 2 daughters, the first 2, brought their father to me. Why? Because they overheard their father talk to somebody. Oh, I wish I'd had a son. I wish my daughters were sons. And that if I had had a son, maybe I would have been happier or something. And the girls were so offended. And these are teenage girls. I said, don't worry. Wait until he's 70. And that is actually the girls, the women that take care of their fathers and their mothers, their parents, much better than the sons. Than the sons. That's the truth. We can't hide it. It's really, really, really the truth. So I said, wait. So my darling, if they are all 3, don't worry. I have 1 here. Dr. Nas. Their parents had 3 girls, no boy. And some way, somehow, they are all so successful. So successful. They have good marriages. They've brought to their parents sons. And that is their husbands. And they are taking care of their mom and their dad so well. So well. So if you already have 3, whether they are 3 boys, they are 3 girls, take good care of them, and they will bring you honor. Don't go in for a 4th one when you are 40 years and beyond. Unless you want to get one.
No, mommy.
The boy is not coming.
All right, thank you. Maybe we'll take our final question and a couple of comments. This one says, it's interesting. It says, Mommy, dealing with troublesome stepchildren, you need to talk about it too. Mommy, this one is over to you.
My darling. Okay, so let's look at it this way. Assuming this stepchild was not your stepchild, your real child, and was troublesome, what would you do? Today, we had one. A biological son, 15-year-old, that comes in between daddy and mommy, and it's bringing so much confusion that if they are not careful, they will lose their marriage because of that son. I believe if this one was a stepson, will say, hey, this troublesome
Stepchildren.
My darling, you don't have a step. You don't have a step. If you see it as a step, it will always become a step. See it as your own. And once it's your own, if you have a troublesome daughter, or you have a troublesome son, what do? You have a lot of patience. You deal with them. You
pray
know.
for him.
We are told that nobody's child is naughty.
Yeah.
Nobody's child is naughty. The one who is naughty is the other person's son, or my stepson, my stepdaughter. I believe that if you handle the person as your own, your biological, you won't see the naughty aspect of the child. Yeah. And then sometimes when we say children are naughty, it has to do with the age. Yes. I was handling one this weekend. And my daughter doesn't tidy up her room, and my daughter doesn't wash the dishes, and my daughter, I said, it's normal. Come to my house. It's the same thing in my home. When I talk and I'm tired, I go and tidy up their rooms myself, and I tell them, when you get married, come and call me to come and tidy up your matrimonial bedroom. Come and call me. When I talk and I can't talk again, I do it. When the dishes are there and I talk and I talk and I talk and I can't talk again, I just go. I mean, it's normal. It's normal, my darling. I don't know if you have anything to say about, but I think we'll have to treat step.
That's right.
I would really, really have to treat step.
Mommy, but you have addressed it. Basically, if you see the person as a step, then definitely you will have these challenges.
Yeah.
If you see him or her as your own child, then whatever challenge he or she is bringing you, you will find a way of resolving it and bringing up the child as your own. Yeah.
Was that our last question?
I think we can take a last one.
We can take a last one.
This is coming from Edward in Kumasi.
Okay.
He says, please, Mommy, I'm into courtship with this lady. She is very prayerful.
Okay.
But with a big capital.
Yes. Underlined with red ink.
Red ink, bold and capitalized. He says, she isn't submissive. She is proud, arrogant, and selfish sometimes. We don't have the details of what defines these attributes, but he continues and says, please, what should I do?
I'll leave it with Reverend Patrick and Mama Rosemond to answer. But you see, when my husband met me, my husband looks at me and tells me, you are a definition of he said
stubborn.
No, the fiancé is what?
Arrogant,
proud.
I was a definition of pride. I was a definition of pride. That's what my husband used to tell me. Today, he doesn't say that anymore. So sometimes, we are set in our ways. Yeah. When I met my husband, I was set in my ways. I was also a leader in my right. I wouldn't allow you to talk to me in a way I didn't want, and blah, 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 blah. But within the marriage, he exhibited leadership. He proved to me that he was a leader. He proved beyond, I don't know what words to use. And all I did was to submit. So I believe that if you also prove to her that you were a leader, trust me, she will turn around. Number two, she's very prayerful, and she's really, really praying. Really, really praying to her God, and she has the Holy Ghost. Trust me, when she does the wrong thing, the Holy Ghost will address it. The Holy Ghost will tell her what you did was wrong. Right. Go and apologize. Right. You can't be a proud woman. You can't be this. You can't be this. You can't be this. I believe that she will change. Yeah. I don't know what you have to say about it too.
So,
but at least I have the testimony.
That's right, yeah. So the lady may appear to be proud to you, but may not be, in her opinion, she's just being confident.
Yeah,
so,
I like
so
that.
to speak, you know.
I like
and
that.
sometimes
I like
confidence
that. That's
is,
the word.
is
I was confident.
That's right. Yeah.
And sometimes I tell my daughters things that are allowed outside the country might not be allowed here.
That's right.
You know, we speak confidently, but in this part of the world, when you speak confidently, it's seen as being disrespectful.
Right. Yeah,
So please go ahead.
So probably
you hit it right.
Exactly. That may be the situation. And you probably grew up in a community or an environment where all the women listen to you or kowtow to you.
Yeah.
And here's this woman who is asking you questions about a suggestion, and you say something and you say, what is your basis? You know, so you kind of feel challenged all the time. Begin to look at it from a different angle. Like Mommy said, if this is a Christian filled with the Spirit of God, then if she exhibits anything negative, the Spirit of God will deal with her. I think that you should calm down, find a way of going around it. Maybe Rose has something else to add.
Well, I think you said
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, find a way of going around it. Look at it in a different perspective. She, like Patrick said, I'm sure she's very confident.
Yeah.
If she's confident, she's not disrespectful.
Yeah.
And then you yourself will also have to look at yourself.
Good.
Are you that intelligent? Maybe the woman is very intelligent, so
and very outspoken.
And very outspoken.
And let somebody define the pride, not from your angle.
Okay.
That's another side of it.
Yeah.
Not from your angle. Let somebody else define the lady's pride, because what you see as pride, she knows your salaries. Let's assume it's even 500, and then at the end of the month, you can't account for the 500, and she says, "What did you use the money for?"
Yeah.
No, but that's not what you told me. You said A, B, C, and you did, and the man sees it as pride.
Yes.
So please go ahead, Mama.
Exactly. So, Mommy, that's exactly where I was going.
Yeah.
That the man should also look at himself and see that he wants a woman who will say, yes, boss.
Yes, boss.
Whatever you say, yes, I say,
Yes,
sit
boss.
down, stand up. And so because the woman is not doing that,
That's right.
then the woman is arrogant and proud and all that. Check yourself.
Yeah.
For all you know, you have a very good woman.
Very good
woman who will help you build a very good future.
Support you and move you to your next level.
If you are not careful, you lose it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to break your pride.
Yeah.
Because we've met a lot of men who will say the women are not submissive, they are arrogant, they are proud. You go into it and it's actually
legitimate questions that the woman is asking, and you
and that you
and
think
you don't
that,
have answers, and therefore
you brand here.
wow, I've enjoyed this segment of Family Life. Ask Mama Rita. Again, Reverend and Mrs. Patrick Yosin, you've done a good job. I mean,
thank you, Mama.
Good job. Good job. When I come on with you, I relax. I don't even need to answer any question, because I know you answer all the questions and you answer them very well. Thank you so much for coming on one more time. I know you are busy, full-time men and women of God, full-time parents, full-time workers. I don't know how many jobs we do here in Royal House.
Yeah.
People ask me, what do you do? I said, me, I'm full-time, everything.
That's right.
And I know how busy you are, how far your house is, to be able to drive all the way here, you know, to be with me at the studio. I am not taking it for granted. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
You are certainly going to come back again.
Thank you, Mommy.
For our listeners and our viewers, I say thank you so much. Without you, Powerline TV will not be a TV station. Without you, Family Life will not be Family Life. Without you, Ask Mama Rita, there'll be nothing like Ask Mama Rita, because what would we be answering?
That's right.
Thank you so much. We are dealing with divorce. If you haven't started, don't start. But next week, I'm coming to you with another phase of divorce. Stay tuned. Same time, same day next week. God bless you. And from my crew at the studio, we say thank you so much.